All right, let's see if I can show you guys how to set up your inclusive access course. So you're going to come to the course that is inclusive access. You should have a folder or module that you want to be called Pearson or Mastering or book or something that your students are going to know is the textbook. So I'm going to call mine this and make sure that it's not hidden. The students are going to need to be able to see this. You can add a description in there for what it is. You're going to want this to be right up towards the top. Then you're going to come into Add Existing, External Tool Activity. And hopefully your stuff won't be as complicated, but you can come up here to the search bar and search for Vital Source. And we want Vital Source Course Materials. Pick that. And then we do not want this to be hidden. But it's going to come in here and it's going to say this. Mastering A&P. We should not have two different things for this. 361, 361. Those are both the exact same thing. Don't know why it's listed twice, but whatever. We are going to make sure it's visible for our students, and we're going to go ahead and click Launch Courseware. This is going to take a second for it to get where we're going. Move this out of the way. That thing always annoys me. Okay. This is the textbook that we're using, so we're going to select that. This is going to be a student use course. I recommend that you name your course a suitable name. This was I think this was section 7. Pay attention to that as you guys are filling in your stuff. You will be able to edit that information at some point, but I'm pretty sure this was my section 7. You can put in here in the description if you want to that this is your period 4 or whatever you want to. Put in the start and end dates, and then notice that it does say Eastern time. You can't change that here. Now you have to wait for it to tell you that the course has been created, and that's going to take just a little bit of time. So wait for that email to come in. I'm going to pause this while I wait for that email. All right, I've gotten my email that says course creation confirmation. So I'm going to close out of here because I don't need to be in here right now. I am back in my BrightSpace course. I'm going to come back to my Pearson mastering page, and I'm going to do Add Existing again and go to Pearson Links. Now, right now I haven't done anything in the course just yet, but you're going to come up here and you're going to do Add Links and come to either the e-text or the course tools. It's your prerogative at this point. I like to start with the e-text. I'm going to just add something from chapter 1 so the students can access the textbook at this point. And then it's going to put that right there so that students can get into the textbook and start navigating through that. The other thing that I'm going to go ahead and add at this point, Add Existing again, come back to Pearson Links, and then I'm going to come up to Course Tools, and then I want to do My Lab and Mastering Course Home right there. Now notice there's a bunch of things you can add. You can add the e-text through this. You can add homework and quizzes and tests. There's a bunch of things. You can add all of those if you want to. It's your prerogative what you want to add, but get some stuff added so that your students can access these things in here. So you've added your vital source link. That has to be the first link that you add. It has to be top in here, and that's the first link that students are going to have to click on in order to access everything. And then you have these things in here. I'm going to recommend that you put the My Lab and Mastering thing first and then the textbook link second. The checklist that they want you to check off is you've got your vital source link added and it's visible 4 days before the term starts. The publisher link is added. That's these two things that I've added off down here. Vital source is first in the order, and it is, and you've tested it in the student view. And so that's where I'm going to come in now. And I always forget how to do this. Can you tell I don't do it all that often? I'm going to come in and I'm going to view as a learner. I'm going to come back to content, And then here's my Pearson and mastering stuff. Vital Source, My Lab, it's all visible and it's open to them. When I click on this, it should come back up with that eventually launch course material right here. It tells them they can opt out. Again, encourage your students to not do that, because if they do that, they have to buy the textbook themselves. And then there's that launch stuff that they need to. I'm again not sure why there is a second thing in here. I'm going to have to get with the bookstore to try to figure that out, but that's a me problem. That's not a you problem. But that's how you guys have to get all of that stuff put in. Hope that helps.